Hey folks, and welcome back to another one of my videos. I'm Brendan from Bluelight, and over the past several years I've been coaching and supporting people for the police recruitment process. With a lot of success, a good 3,500 people plus are now in the police as a result of my support over the past several years, something which I'm really pleased about. If you'd like to find out more about those services, check out the links below. Links to my online courses, my seminars, and also my one-to-one coaching. And really importantly, I'd urge you to join my police recruitment Facebook support group, which as of July 19, where we are now, has got almost 7,000 members in it, all supporting each other in a very ethical way to join the police. So if you click on the link, you'll be asked to answer one question about why you want to join the group, and then invariably I will allow you in. The only people I don't allow in are actually I had to block a porn bot earlier on today, so I'm not going to allow them in. There's no spamsters allowed in that group. So anyway, welcome to York. Here we are in York at the Marriott Hotel Management Centre, which is where it's my base I use for one-to-one coaching. Just finished a day of coaching for someone who's preparing for an interview outside of the assessment centre, the interview stage of the recruitment process to get into the force that they're applying to. And one of the things that we looked at is how to build a really detailed answer to a question which is around inappropriate behaviour. So it's a common question that gets asked: please can you tell me about a time when you have challenged inappropriate behaviour? And one of the things that I often see on the Facebook group, and actually I'll normally challenge it, is when people ask for what advice can you give me to prepare for the interview, you'll get people sending replies like, know your competencies. So those are the older police competencies that still use my motor forces, currently being replaced by the competency and values framework. The thing is, this is written in competency speak, and it's not going to help you. Revising this won't help you. What will help you is being able to provide a really good, structured and detailed answer to the question. Let the competencies fall out of the sky. Don't be thinking that you can just use phrases from this and say things like, I work cooperatively with others to get things done, and I willingly gave people help. I explained things well and I focused on the key points. If you start using language like that in the interview, the interviewers are going to completely tune out. What they want to hear is how you did those things without making the claim that you did those things, so that they can interpret your answer and think that was a really good example of working cooperatively with others to get things done. Now, what we did here is we looked at a particular situation where my client heard in their role as a temporary team leader some language which was particularly racist in the workplace. So we talked about the impact on others if that wasn't dealt with, the impact on the individual if it wasn't dealt with, the impact on the organisation if it wasn't dealt with. And then we moved into the aim, what this individual's aim was, and here it says to help the person, make them aware of their rights and to make sure that this wouldn't happen again. We then went through some different options of how that could be achieved, ranging from do nothing, report to another manager, or speak to the subject first with a view to challenging this with the person who used that behaviour almost immediately. So there's an action part of this. We went into and broke down everything that happened, which presented some conundrums when they approached the subject of the racist abuse. Had a conversation with them, really upset. And we talked a lot about how this individual actually got to the point where the subject said, yes, go ahead and challenge it on my behalf. Because the thing is, once you have heard something like this, no matter what the subject wants, you can't unhear it or unknow it. You know what's happened, you've seen it, you've heard it, you've got responsibility to do something with it now. We also talked, and this is really important, about how my client felt, what was going through their mind, how did they actually feel about having to challenge this individual about their behaviour. We talked about further actions, the time, location, and how they informed them, making sure the time was appropriate, the location was appropriate, and how they were informed of the purpose. Now this is the important stuff. We went into the how, how they actually went about challenging the behaviour. We went into a huge amount of detail that was recorded elsewhere. And for those of you, my clients, you'll know that I'm always going on about, yes, but how exactly did you do that? How exactly did you do that? How exactly did you do that? Until I get that really good, fine, granular detail that's going to enable me to measure off what you actually did against the competency framework without you having to make those bold claims. So we also talked about what the result was, and again providing the detail, and importantly this doesn't appear in the STAR model, the learning. So